Hello everyone, good morning. It's time to start the day. Grab your coffee, your favorite beverage, shine your light and light the way.
Good morning, everyone. What is the date today? February 19th, 2025, and it is time for your Good Morning Coffee and Talk. I'm Dolly, the Wolf Girl Oracle, and I am really glad you're here today. It is a really freaking cold day here in Milwaukee, which is why I said that this is like the cold weather edition. Good morning, Janet P. Oh, Janet. Good to see you, my friend. I was just talking about how freaking cold it is this morning. When I woke up, it was -2. It's actually warmer than it was yesterday, because yesterday when I woke up, it was -7. So we're in a heat wave, but we're going to get above freezing. What is it now? It's so wild when it's this cold. Thankfully it doesn't last very long. Oh, it's 1 degree. It's 1 degree. We're fine now. It's fine. It's no longer the cold weather edition. It's snowing. Oh my gosh, how much snow are you supposed to get? Oh wow. You guys don't get a lot of snow there, do you? Or do you? Do you get like some winter snow? Good morning, Katie, my sweet sister. Mwah. Good morning. I'm happy to see you. We're just talking about the cold weather, and Janet said it's snowing by her. So I was like, what? That's crazy. Nancy's here, and it's snowing there too. Oh no. I hope it doesn't snow here. I hope not. I haven't even checked the weather today. 3 to 5 inches. Well, that's kind of a lot of, that's a considerable amount for you guys. Wow. Hi, Flowing. Flowing says, hi, Dolly. I hope you are well. I fell twice yesterday. Oh no. On top of being in the worst, darn, I can't think of the word. I'm in a lot of pain, walking like I'm 100. I'm in a bad way. Yes, it is cold. Oh, my honey. Let's say a quick prayer for Flowing. Creator of this universe, the divine in you sees the divine in me. Please be with Flowing. Please heal her. Please take away the pain. Surround her with your angels. Surround her with the land vitir, the hus vitir, her ancestors. Let them all put their hands on her and help remove that pain. And we will all send Reiki to her today. And so it is. Oh, Flowing, my sweet friend. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah. So, hey, Fatima. Why did I say that? You know what? I was going to say more coffee, but you know what? I forgot to bring coffee in here. I forgot to bring coffee to Good Morning Coffee and Talk. There is something wrong with me. The wolves love the snow. Oh, I know. I remember when we had the Timberwolf Preservation Society up the road from me, and I'd go there in the wintertime and watch the wolves playing in the snow, and that was always so much fun to watch. Kelly, good morning, my sweet friend. How are you? It is good to see you. It is so good to see you. So I want to tell you something, Nancy from A Crone's Intuition. So this morning, I was singing along to I had the radio turned on, and I was singing along to a song, and I was in the kitchen. Ruben was out in the living room going, shut up! I guess I can't sing around my bird. I thought that you would find that humorous. Oh my gosh. Oh, Kelly is making bagels this morning, so we will all be over in, I don't know, maybe a couple hours for fresh bagels. You got cream cheese, or do I need to bring that? It is really good to see all you guys this morning on this very cold, cold day here in Milwaukee. But the sun is shining. The sun is shining very bright. It's shining so bright that I had to actually shut my blinds because I look like just a giant white Q-tip. So I was like, oh, I guess I better close the windows. Oh, Kelly's got it. We don't need to bring cream cheese. Okay. Woohoo. Yes, actually he is, because when how in church they say make a joyful noise, right? I do that because it is nothing but a noise that comes out of me. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that bird. So I wanted to talk to you guys about something. Now, this is on a little bit more of a serious note, but I do want to bring this to everyone's attention because I feel like we all need to do something. We all should be. You know what? I'm not going to tell you guys what you should all be. I'm not going to tell you guys. I am going to do this. This is what I am doing. All right, before I start, let me see. My brother John, girlfriend, had surgery on Saturday. Appendix. It did not burst, thank God. Oh, that is good news. That is good news that they caught it before it burst. Very, very good. Angels, I'm telling you, they're all around us. Anyways, this is personal to me, and this is something that, how do I say this? Something that has been on my mind and on my heart, something I've been talking to Katie a lot about, is our need to resist. All these things that are happening right now, all these executive orders and stuff like that, we need to resist in the best way that we can. Katie was mentioning to me this morning that on February 28th and March 15th, correct me if I'm wrong, Katie, we're being asked to avoid spending money on that day in places that we normally would, in an attempt to kind of give the oligarchs that are running our nation a message about the power of the people. Okay, so if you think of it, on February 28th and on March 15th, try not to buy anything on Amazon. Try not to really buy anything from anywhere. All right. It hits the bottom line in a very slight way, but it hits the bottom line of a lot of these oligarchs if we do this. I'm also going to avoid social media those 2 days. I'm not going to watch YouTube on those 2 days. I'm going to just immerse myself in nature and spirit on those 2 days in an attempt to just show in solidarity some resistance against the things that are happening. And I've been on a no spend since the Cheeto was sworn in. The Cheeto, yep, the angry Cheeto. Yeah, I hear you. There's something else I want to talk to you guys about. I don't know how many of you are personally affected by the getting rid of the DEI. Getting rid of DEI. I don't know how many of you are affected by that, but I've thought about this. I've been thinking about this since that executive order was signed. And I've been thinking, it's only a matter of time before I start hearing about people being personally affected by this. Hi, Sally. Oh, wait, where are you? Oh, Janet. I've been doing only necessary since January 1st. Good for you. Hi, Sally. Good to see you. And yeah, like Janet is saying here, yes, February 28th and March 15th, Nancy. Those were the 2 dates that were listed in this article that Katie sent me. I'll try to put it up on my community page and in the Discord so that we can all kind of share in that. Yes, we are all effective. You are absolutely right. Hang on to your money unless you are personally buying from a local small business. Correct. Yes, I will definitely. I'm going to go spend my money in stores that are owned by brown people, by gay people, anybody from the LGBTQ community. Yes, I am. Now, the story I wanted to tell you guys, Chrissy and I have a friend. I'm not going to say her name. I'm not going to say where this location is because I am hoping that she is going to be able to sue to get her job back. Okay, but a good friend of ours was let go from her job of 20 years. She's a librarian with a master's degree. Okay, so she's put in the work, she's put in the time, was let go because about 6 months ago, the library that she was working at asked her to head up the DEI classes, the mandated classes that they had to do every year. They asked her to like perform that task after the beginning of the year. So they gave her like 6 months to like get things ready and put all of her curriculum together for this. She took it very seriously and she was very, very proud to be heading that up. And they let her go. And nobody wanted her to go. And she's like, well, can't I just have my librarian position back? She's like, I worked that for 20 years. I earned that job. I earned that position. And they said, no, sorry, we can't. Because of the executive order. So right now, I am not happy. I'm very, very not happy. And if you think about this, you guys, if you think about this, during the election campaign, do you remember the Cheeto talking about how he wanted to send illegal immigrants back because they're taking black jobs? Okay. Getting rid of DEI is an attempt to send brown people back to the field and to send people in the LGBTQ community back into the closet. Right? I think that this is so offensive. I'm so offended by this. You don't even know. By all of it. All these executive orders. I'm so offended and I'm having a really hard time not going into rage over this. I mean, I haven't gone completely into rage over this. I'm trying to just keep it in check, but it's starting to affect people that I know and that I love. It might affect me someday, It might affect Chrissy, Rick. I don't know. So anyways, I just wanted to talk about that. Janet says, I called Hal Rogers, our representative, and told him all the home projects and vacations we are canceling because the financial outlook under the current administration. Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you, Katie, for putting that in there. Putting the link. I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much. So everybody can kind of like open that up and bookmark it and go back to it after the live stream today, and you guys can see. Yeah, it's the 28th and the 15th. And we got to do this and put our intention into it because I feel like we just need to. All right. Sally says, I learned a painful lesson about dedication of employee versus employers in corporate America. Oh, for sure. And that's the scary thing about this. There's a lot of people out there who are fully talented, capable, amazing employees who are going to get their jobs taken away from them over this. And companies don't like the DEI initiative. There are some great companies out there who have chosen to continue on with it regardless of what, the big angry Cheeto says, just because they're good companies and they want there to be they want it to be inclusive for everyone. But there's a lot of companies that think of it as a waste of time because as you do these DEI classes and stuff and DEI hiring and promotion, it costs the company money. So just like you guys are saying, it's all about the money. Stupid. Oh, you got to go soon? Oh, okay. Well, I'm so glad that you stopped in. I'm always happy to see you. Always. Nancy says, my father passed away in 1996, a few years before he said our country was in terrible trouble from within, that something horrible was going to happen. He said he wouldn't live to see it, but that I would. Oh, that is wild. So your dad was intuitive. He lived through the Great Depression. Oh, wow. And Katie says, I still say the citizens of the United States need to band together and form one giant class action lawsuit against Elon Musk. He personally can afford the loss. I agree with you. Cheeto Head is hurting American people more than anyone else. He is destroying all of America. I agree. Costco is keeping it and praying people here. I'm sorry. Costco is keeping it and paying people here $22 to start. Oh, see, now that's great. Now that's a company that I'd be really happy to give my business to. I would. Flowing says, yep, my parents tell me stories about that. Somewhere hard, somewhere hard, some were heartfelt. Gotcha. Yeah. So, I mean, right now, I would like to ask everyone, however you pray, however way you choose to pray, I'm going to ask you guys to keep people who have been protected by equal opportunity incentives and DEI. Pray for them, because our friend now is out of a job. This was she's been doing this career for almost the entirety of her adult life. There's nowhere else that she can take this right now, unless she leaves the state, which she doesn't want to do because she owns a home there. She's very invested in where she is. But she might have to take a serious pay cut now and do something different, because the opportunities in that area aren't that great. So just pray for all the people who are being affected by this madness. Just one more comment. They are not destroying America. We, the people, are America, and we will persevere. Yes. Preserve and persevere. Yes. Kelly, I feel you on that. I do. I'm not leaving, though. I'm going to resist, and I'm going to fight, and I'm going to do what I can. Now, you're in a different situation than me, so I would totally understand. I'm not going to lie. There's been times where I'm like, Paraguay is starting to sound better and better and better. They are destroying safety nets, but they will build it back better. I hope so. And that's where I'm putting my intention. I'm still putting my intention into, this is necessary to show us that there are things that are precious that we cannot allow to be destroyed, And yeah, Katie, I agree with you. The nastiness is worldwide. Where are we going to go? Right. All right, on to another topic. Let's do the affirminator. Let's get on to an affirmation for today. And today's is impermanence. Life is always changing, and I drift easily through those changes, good and bad. As I drift through hard times, I can take comfort in knowing that I will leave them behind. As I drift away from good times, I can take comfort in knowing that more will come my way. Impermanence is an equal opportunity non-entity. Impermanence. Yes, I used to be afraid of impermanence, and now I take great comfort in impermanence, to be honest with you, especially considering the way that things are right now, right? We could take comfort in the fact that things are impermanent, that nothing stays around forever. not us, not our political situations, not maybe even not our country. We don't know. But happiness is also something that comes and goes, and joy and light and love, so where one thing stops, another thing begins, and I take comfort in that. I do. You adore my energy. Thank you very much. I try to put all my light into everything that I do, Oh, guess what, you guys? These little things that get sent to me in the mail once a month by some nice person who thought that I need to be, indoctrinated. Well, this month's we're about God. We have the Kids Guide to One Nation Under God. And in this book, they basically only talk about Christianity and Judaism. And they point out that in the Declaration of Independence, in the preamble to the Declaration of Independence, it says, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, though they went on to, have slaves, that they are endowed by their creator with certain inalienable rights. Okay. It does say that in the preamble. But you notice that they use the word creator, and that is there's a very strong intention with that word. Meaning that any religion could find this could resonate with just about anybody. Not just Christians and Jews. And there's nothing wrong with Christians and Jews. There's nothing wrong. Okay? But the fact that these things are being sent out to children and they are, doing this to our government. This I don't like this. And the next one was the Kids Guide to God. The Kids Guide to God. And in here, they only list Judaism, Christianity, and Muslim. And they also talk about God as the Father and the flood and why we believe in God. It's really and I have no problem, like I said, with any one of these religions. I have no problem. The importance of Israel. And I believe that Israel has the right to exist, but I also believe that the Palestinians have a right to exist. So, into the circular file on the floor these go. Anyways, what's everybody saying here? And pizza comes and goes. It does. A lot for me, let me tell you. We are shown what is being broken. We cannot fix it if it stays hidden. Amen. I agree with that 100%. Kelly says, I am going to travel several places. Plum Garden in France, Albania, etc. We'll see what feels nice. Yeah. Janet P. says, my career Army stepfather said, vote every time the door opens and fight for your right to peacefully protest. This is our country, and we are going to make it right. Oh. That is too freaking awesome. Kelly wants to see different cultures. Yeah, I love cultures. I love getting immersed in cultures, Kelly. I've been quite a few places in the world. And there's a lot of places I'd still like to go and get immersed into a culture. I really want to do that. All right, I'm going to kind of scoot down to the bottom here just because I am so far behind. I come from a military family, and let me tell you, if I didn't stand and fight for what I believe in, I would be a disgrace to my ancestors, and I can't allow that to happen. Amen. Same. I would use those books in a crone ceremony. Jesus always says, "Do not judge. Only the Father judges." That's right. That is right. And that is what I believe too, strongly in my heart. That's why I can't fault people in any kind of way for believing anything, It's only when those beliefs become something, that's something that divides us, or something that causes one group to dominate so strongly over another. And that's what we have happening right now. And that isn't what Jesus wanted. Jeepers Christmas. Are you taking off, Flowing? I love you. Thank you for stopping by. I know you're in pain, so if you need to go lay down, I understand that. Hi, Terry at Holding Your Space. It's good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. I was just showing them, Terry. I don't know if you've ever seen these before. I'm going to just quick show you. Somebody, for whatever reason, put me on a mailing list. And every month I get these books in the mail, and they're crazy. They're definitely not liberal. But this month we got The Kid's Guide to One Nation Under God, and we got the Kid's Guide to God. Kid's Guide to God. Both are very, very Christian-centric, And that would be fine if this was a Christian organization that was putting this out. But this is an organization that totes itself as being a political organization. And that's where I have a problem with things like this happening. And I don't know who decided to send these to me. But in a way, I just want to say thank you, because it's giving me an opportunity to see the propaganda that's being put out there that's helping to divide America. And we don't like that. All right. The attitude of FAFO is petty and being just like those being made fun of. Struggle is real, and we better find compassion for the lost who are waking up. I agree with you on that too. Compassion is really the only thing that we're going to be able to lean on in our practice as spiritual people that can be useful in helping to heal this country and this world. Right, is our compassion. The way that our divinity, what the divine in us sees the divine in them, like Terry always says, my light sees your light. That's all about compassion. It's about recognizing these things in each other and starting there and going forward, right? So, yeah. Hey, how are you, Willow? It is good to see you. Hey, I wanted to share something else with you guys this morning, if you'll bear with me here. I wanted to give you guys a little snippet, a little info on runes. You guys have been asking me to talk about the runes, and I thought, okay, you know what? Every week on my live stream, I'll spend 5 minutes talking about the runes. We'll pick a rune. We'll do that rune for the day. We'll talk about it, and then we'll do other things, because I don't want to do week after week of heavy study in runes, because I don't feel comfortable doing that. So it's kind of like a let's learn together situation here, because I've really only been using runes now for about 6 months. Okay. I read up on them. I tried using them in the past. I really didn't connect to them. But then I recognized something. I recognized that runes, just like tarot cards or oracle cards, kind of have to call out to you. So where I wasn't having any great success in connecting to spirit via the runes using man-made materials like resin, it didn't work well. I have a set of metal runes that are all metal. Don't really connect with them. But when I picked up the wood runes and started using the wood runes, I started having much better spiritual connection to them. So I wanted to show you guys something that's nifty about the runes. There's nothing out there from the past that really describes what the runes meant and how they were to be used for divination. That never got written down, that never got passed forward. And everything that we know about the Norse religion and the Norse pantheon of gods was written by Christians, okay, who were going there to preach to them. So we have to take everything that we know about the Norse pagan faith with a grain of salt and with some common sense, okay? But we do know that the general meanings of each one of the letters in the rune alphabet, okay? So I wanted to show you guys something neat. The runes are a sacred alphabet. Just like in Judaism, their alphabet is sacred. Each one of the letters is a sound, just like in our alphabet, but each one of those letters has a sacred meaning, okay? Well, it's the same with the runes. Each letter has a sacred meaning. So when they created their words, they did so with great intention, okay? And each one of the words not only means, each one of the words is made up of letters that have a meaning that actually helps to define the word. So let me give you a for instance here. Let me get to my other camera. Let me bring this one down. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Okay. Hopefully you can hear me now. Okay. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I forgot that I had the mic muted for this other camera. So when I went to it, I lost audio. But I'm back. So I just got to leave myself up. But can I make this like bigger so you can see it? I'm sure there's a way. How about like this? Oh, I don't know. I don't know how to do that. Well, hopefully you can still read it. But anyways, dream. The Old Norse word for that is drama. This is how it's spelled out in runes. And that is dagas, redo, awas, urus, manes, and ansus. Okay. So each one of these letters means something different, okay, that actually associate to the word. So like dagas means light of the gods. It means awakening to enlightenment. It means inspiration, okay. Our redo means travel. It can mean wagon. It can mean journey, momentum. Iwas can mean horse or partner, progress forward, that kind of thing. Uruz means Oruk, which is a type of wild ox. Okay, so that's like the shape of the wild ox, that letter. And it can mean life force, and it can mean strengthen, it can mean good health. Sleep leads to good health, right? Good health, right? And manas means humanity, balance, divine potential and development of talents. And what else do you do when you dream, right? And Anzus can mean, well, it stands for Odin. It's sort of Odin's rune. But it also can mean the ancestral gods, the mouth, the breath, and the communication. And back in the day, and still now, honestly, Norse pagans believed that a lot of communication came to you in your dreams. So does this make sense? You can see how dream, as we know it, is a sacred word, right? These are sacred words. They're not just words. They are sacred because they contain these sacred meanings in each one of the letters. Does that make sense? So, yeah. I wanted to share that with you, and that's kind of our introduction to runes. So as we go through the runes, if there's any kind of like particular word you'd like me to see if there's a Norse equivalent to that word, we can look at it and we can break it down and we can see how that word is sacred based on the letters that are used in that word. And I find that kind of magic just really exciting and interesting. So I hope you did too. I hope you guys did too. Here, I'll remove that now. But did you find that interesting? Is that something you'd like me to do? Would you like me to go through the runes and talk about what they mean and how they can be used in divination? Or do you guys think, oh, no, I don't want to learn anything new? Which is totally understandable. Janet's saying yes. Kelly's saying yes. Nancy is saying yes. Okay, cool. Katie wants to learn runes. All right, so we'll do that. We're going to go through the runes. First, we're going to go through the runes. I'll do maybe like 2 or 3 a week so that we can get through them in a reasonable amount of time. And then I will also show you guys how I use them for divination, what the process that I use with them. Okay. And often I'm using them in conjunction with tarot cards so that I can see how spirit uses the runes to give me a message. Okay. Because I'll be able to see the message in the tarot cards and be able to incorporate the two together to be able to find the definitive meaning of the message from the runes. And I'm hoping that at some point I'll be able to go solo and just use the runes. All right. But that's the process that I'm using right now. And you know how long it takes to learn tarot. Okay. So it's a process. It's a slow learning process. It's not something that you should jump into lightly. I'm using tarot dice or rune dice right now. So I'm not just like, woo, let's shake up these dice and throw them down and see what my future is. I want to know my future. I'm not doing that. I am studying them. I am learning them. I'm understanding the sacredness of each one of them and moving forward with that. So that is what I'm doing with the runes. But I wanted to share that with you guys because dream was the first word that I looked up and kind of broke down. And I thought, wow, look at that. Every letter in there describes dream it in a different kind of way or the benefits of dreaming, and I'm like, that is so sacred and neat and cool, and I wanted to share that with you guys. Katie is also learning Lenormand. That's awesome. Yeah, I have a few Lenormand, or no, yes, I have Lenormand. I have 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 Lenormand decks right now. I don't use them all that much. I've tried a little bit, and I've tried to do readings along with other people who are using Lenormand decks to just sort of understand the process. But again, that's another thing. It takes time. And I really believe in dedicating yourself to if you're going to come on YouTube and you're going to do divination of any kind, okay, I feel like you should take the time to learn to really get to know how spirit speaks to you through the tool that you're using, right? And I believe in establishing that relationship with spirit in advance of trying to come on YouTube and doing that, So I haven't done runes very much here on YouTube because I'm still in the process of really getting to understand how spirit speaks to me through that tool, But we can learn that together, right? We can share in some of this together. So I will do that. Well, thank you guys. Thank you for putting up with that as I fumbled through my little class. I just want to, it's something, I think it's neat. I think they're neat. And the more I'm learning about them, the more I'm beginning to love the intention that was put into these Old Norse words, which have become very similar to our words. In fact, if you look at the Old Norse language, there are so many words that we still use today, and there's a sacredness in these words. Katie says, I am an oracle and I love my oracle decks the most. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And she takes oracle classes at Hay House, or she has. I have too, because you told me to. Because you told me they were out there. Katie always shares things with me. I love that. And she does with everybody. She shares it with everybody. All right, you guys, would you like to do a question? I have a couple here. The first question is, who are your happiness role models? Who are your happiness role models? For me, it's backwards on the screen here, so I'm hoping that you guys are seeing it correctly. Who are your happiness role models? I gotta figure out why it's doing that. On the back it says, happiness is not a state to arrive at, but a manner of traveling. And that was said by Margaret Lee Runbeck. And that's true, isn't it? It is a manner of traveling. So who do you look to in this world as being a role model of happiness? Kelly says it looks right on her screen and she thinks she needs a happiness role model. Well, does anybody have any suggestions for a good happiness role model? I know that's a hard question, isn't it? It is a hard question. Because who in your life, I mean, I don't believe in 100% happiness all the time. I think that's unrealistic to try to achieve that. Hey, Janet, how are you? It is good to see you. Hi, I am still sick, so just logged on. We'll have to roll back and listen to your Norse runes conversation. Oh, please do. Kelly says, I am happy here now. Katie says, my mother who knew how to always find the fun and joy in any situation. Don't buy trouble until it lands in your lap. Right, that is great advice. Jenna says, actually, you make me happy. Oh, love your laugh. Oh, I'm glad I make you happy. I am not trying to toot my own horn, or maybe I am trying to toot my own horn. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I am a mostly happy individual. I am mostly content and mostly happy all the time. Unless somebody signs an executive order that ends up causing my friend to get fired from her job, then I am not a happy person. Dr. Wayne Dyer, yes, or Dyer, I'm sorry, Dr. Wayne Dyer, yes, yes. His ideas on happiness are wonderful. So is Pema Chodron, the Buddhist monk. I love her. I've read so much that she's written, and she has sort of this mentality where you shouldn't even try to look for happiness or find that permanent happiness, because it's ridiculous to try, because you're never going to achieve that, because that's an unachievable thing. What she talks about is just being present in the moment, and from moment to moment observing and finding the things, when you're in the moment and you're actually taking the time to be present there, you actually start to see the little miracles that are happening all around you, and that those little miracles will bring you joy. That's what she talks about. And yeah, man, like reading that and fully, like, not just reading the words, but like allowing that to really enter into my soul changed my life. I was such an angry person for so long, you guys. And yeah, I was like, man, after I read that, I was like, it seems so simple, but it is so true. If we're spending too much time dwelling on the past or too much time fearing the future, we're not recognizing the things in the here and now, all these little miracles that are there to bring us happiness, right? We're actually choosing not to be happy when we do that. That's not okay. Yes. Happiness, like love, is a verb. You are so right. The Dalai Lama. Oh my gosh, I love the Dalai Lama so much. He is too, just very, he is so wise, and he is so funny. He is funny. Like, he could have his own show on TV as a comedy. He is that funny. Hi, Sylvia. How are you today? It's good to see you, my friend. I was just asking everybody, who are your happiness role models? I'd have to say my mom, to a certain degree, is a happiness role model, because my mom, although she can sometimes get really consumed by fear and really consumed by anger, she's also been very influential in my life, in being in the moment and seeing the little miracles around me. And she's very funny. My mother, if you guys think I'm funny, I have got nothing on my mother. She is hysterical. Oh my gosh, you don't even know. But and I think that the people that I love that are around me, Katie, Chrissy and Rick and Devante, my neighbors, the people who I interact with the most, all have a joy to them that's infectious, and I'm so grateful of that. I am so grateful. I'm so grateful. I am so grateful that I am not surrounded by people who are angry all the time. Chrissy's got a temper, so sometimes she'll come home and be like, bah, 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 about her day at work, but then it's done and we move on. And I'm just like, yeah, Hey, Lee, how are you? Good to see you. I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you. Thank you. Janet says, I have a friend who is always very happy. She lives without considering the dark side of life. Is that why? It could be. I mean, I'm not sure that putting yourself like in a bubble and completely detaching from the world is a realistic way to sustain happiness. It might sustain you from not being anxious, but I'm not that person. I'm not that person who can completely lock myself away. I detach from my emotions a little bit because I am autistic and I do have like a different way of processing things. And sometimes it takes me longer to, like, if you tell me a joke, it might take me a while to laugh. And it's just because I'm processing the joke. I'm processing it, and I can't explain why, but sometimes it causes a very delayed reaction in me, But I don't think that, but I don't like lock myself away in the closet and ignore everything. I don't think that that's a good way of being either. Because then when life does finally get through to you, it can be so shocking and so abrasive and so damaging to your spirit, So I feel like we still need to be aware of the things that are happening in the world. We just can't allow ourselves to go into fear, into hate, into rage, and let that stuff like change how we are and how we react with our fellow human beings. Like Katie said earlier, we have to be compassionate. We have to stay in a heart of compassion so that doesn't happen. We don't want that. Sylvia says, I feel it just to get out with friends I don't see often. To just chit chat without the deep talk sometimes helps. Yeah, I hear you there. Right on. Right on. Lee says, howdy, neighbor. Yes, howdy. And Sylvia likes the deep talks too. We do that in our woo-woo community in here. Yes, we do. We do. Katie says, I used to be waiting for the other shoe to drop when I was happy. So I grew up feeling guilty for being silly happy. No more. I let my eye rolls and giggle. Yep. It is okay to be happy, you guys. Even when terrible things are happening all over the world, it is okay to hold space for the people who need the space held for them, right? But it is okay to still feel joy, It's like when my dad died back in 1997, long before I was anywhere near where I am now spiritually. A few people who came to the funeral were laughing and joking and carrying on, and I got so mad. I didn't say anything to them, but in my head and in my heart, I'm like, how can you be so happy joking around? My father just died, and you're sitting here laughing and joking and blah, blah, blah. And I don't know if my mom saw my face or what, but my mom came up to me and she put her hand on me and said, this is what your dad would have wanted. He would have wanted laughter. He would have wanted people remembering him and the funny things that he said and did. He wouldn't want to be, he wouldn't want people to be down and depressed. He wants, this is what he would like. And it just like dawned on me on how much I was projecting my own feelings out onto everything. You know what I mean? Really changed that's why I say my mom is one of my role models for happiness, because she is very wise, very, very wise. And I appreciate her very much. Did I just see Jay? Hi, Jay. Good morning. I'm glad to see you. It is good to see you. Janet says, I knew someone who laughed while he talked. It was kind of strange, but it made me happy. Oh, hi. Hi, Janet. Guess what? I crashed my car into a tree this morning. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've known people like that too. It's just like, okay. Katie says, I find my compassion for these hurtful people by looking at them as spoiled toddlers. Then I realize that they were terrified about breathing in case it is wrong. Right. 100%. Lee says, I will celebrate when my mom passes, which seems near. Oh, my heart, Lee. I'm sorry. I know losing parents is not fun. Not fun at all. Oh, that just like hurts my heart. But, time marches on and we're not getting any younger. And I'm going to have to face that day with my mom at some point here too. And Rick's mom, Chrissy's mom, you know, it's gonna be tough. All of us have lost our fathers already, and that was rough. It was, but now I celebrate my father's life and I honor him as part of my ancestral he's part of my ancestral team that watches over me and guides me from the other side. And I actually think that I talk to him more now than when he was alive, which is terrible, but I talk to him all the time, but yeah. And Lee says, my mom and I know that what's coming is good, all good. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, like Katie often says, like when somebody passes on, she's like, wow, just think about the amazing journey that they're on right now. Think of the things that they're seeing and experiencing, and, and without pain, and just in free form and spirit, just all these things that they're experiencing. Would you really want to bring them back to what they had? It's like, no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Katie says, I lost both of my parents, mom in 2018 at 97 years old. I was so blessed. You were blessed. I felt like I was blessed to have my grandma well into my 40s. I thought that was great. I felt very, very blessed by that. Good morning, Kat. How are you today? It is good to see you. Katie says, wish them bon voyage. They are going on a trip of a lifetime, the most magnificent cruise ever offered. They're transcending home. Yeah. And I feel like it makes death seem less scary for me too, for my own mortality. I'm getting older. I've outlived my father. Anything could happen, right? Anything could happen. All right. One more quick question. If you could be famous for anything, what would you choose? If you could be famous for anything, what would you choose? But on the back it says, fame won't make you happy. Fame won't make you happy. What do you want to be famous for? Oh, I love this, Lee. Ending world hunger. Yes. That would be awesome. That would be an awesome thing to be famous for. Katie says, for being the most generous person alive. Yeah, that would be an awesome thing to be famous for, too. Give it away, give it away, give it away now. Give it away, give it away, give it away now, right? Yeah, that'd be great. I haven't even thought about this question. What do I want to be famous for? I don't know. I think I'd kind of like to be famous for carving. I'd like to get good enough that my carvings, and this, I know that's totally selfish, but I feel like I would love to get, I'd love to be known as the person who carves things and puts them in the woods for people to find. That's what I want to be famous for. And I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to carve I'll probably carve depictions of the Norse gods. And there's a local park that's very close to here. And I think I might tuck them away in the bushes and in the tree, the forest areas, and just let people discover them. And if they steal them and take them home, that's even better. But I think I might do that. But that's what I would like to be famous for. I know, selfish. How terrible of me. So terrible. Lee needs a studio so bad. So bad. Kat wants to write my novel and bring the story of the... Oh my gosh, I cannot read. Hang on. Let me look over here. Of the Samuda to life. Well, you totally should do that, Kat. I'm seeing a storybook about you, Dali. Oh, no. good. Katie has always thought it would be fun to make fairy houses and doorways and trees for people to find on hiking paths. Yeah, that's kind of the same concept that I'm going through, that I was thinking of, Katie. It just have somebody discover it and go, what is this? You know? And then I can write on the bottom of it, you know, what the god is and who they are and a little bit about them. And then put "Take me home" on the bottom. And then our hug. Rachel Hug. That's my real name, Rachel Hug. Put our hug on there. Dali is my nickname. I know you're probably like, where did you get Dali from? Well, my nickname is Dali Wolf. Dali for Salvador Dali, who's my favorite artist, and Wolf for my spirit animal. Okay, the animal that I am. And I've been Dali Wolf since 1993 online. I am a Sagittarius. I am. November 27th is my birthday. Nancy says, it's kind of like walking a tightrope. Hold on to compassion and love, but don't condone. Right. It's kind of like love the sinner, but not the sin, as Christians say, right? You know, I guess we have to take that attitude with them. Let's see. Janet says, I want to make something magical and put it in the community fairy garden for the kids to find. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I should, but I have no idea where to start. Oh man, I know. It's getting that first idea down on paper, right? Sometimes, like, what I found when I'm writing is I'll make an outline of how I think that things should progress, just a little sentence describing what I want, where I want it, and sometimes that gets the creative juices flowing for me, you know, but that's my method. That might not work for you, but that's what I do. Like the trend of hiding painted rocks a few years back. That's right. Yeah. Oh, you had the fun, truthful vibe of a sag. Oh, yeah. I have had many astrologers say that I am Sagittarius personified because I've got this fire in me, this passion for life, a straightforwardness, and, you know, a straight arrow of communication shooting right at you. I've had many people tell me that. So it's nice to hear it from you, Lee. November 27th, that's Sekhmet's Day. Did I say that right? I read that word often, but I don't know how to say it. Sekhmet. I was born on Sekhmet's Day. That's neat. All right, so we got 5 minutes left. I do want to do at least one card here, read one card for you guys to kind of send you off onto the rest of the week with something in your mind and in your heart from Spirit. And I'm going to be using the Elemental Empath. The Elemental Empath. See, there I go trying to sing again. I'm surprised Ruben isn't out there going, shut up. Shut up, Mama. Go lay down. All right, angels protect us. Spirits of the land and my home, the land Vatir and the host Vatir, surround us. And ancestors, please give us wisdom. What do we need to know for the rest of this week, Spirit? Please and thank you. And I love you. Up with it's really hard to type when you have a kitty sitting on your hand. I know that. Dali, there was a Hallmark Christmas movie about a girl who went to Norway to find the wood carver who made her grandmother's troll. Sappy but very Norwegian. Oh, that sounds like fun. I would love that. Thank you. We have to get together. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We got to make that happen soon too. Maybe when the threat of the bad weather is over with, we'll be able to work something out. I am so afraid of falling right now. I don't want to mess up my shoulder. I often say that my parents taught me how to live. They also taught me how to die. Oh, yeah. I'm gradually putting my living space in order and making my hospitaire happy. It helps that I got a caregiver to aid me in this. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, you know when the hospitaire are happy because you just feel the energy in the house, right? The whole house has just a kind of a happy-go-lucky energy, and I love that. All right, Spirit, this is the card. Ooh. So the card that I got is Ego Illusions. Don't believe thoughts or inner stories. Befriend the ego. Ego illusions. So what I'm getting from Spirit about this card is, it's really important that you are not being anti-you. And I know how easy it is to fall into the anti-me feeling, right? Sometimes when I look in the mirror, I'm just like, oh, I am so fat. What has happened to me? Why would people even like me with how much weight I've gained? I look terrible. I don't look beautiful, and I'll go into this like wild, stupid anti-Dali thing, and I'll be really hard on myself. I don't think that there's anybody on this planet that's as hard on themselves as I am on me. I am so hard on myself. But it's a lot less now, really, since entering into the spiritual community and just discovering all these different ways that I can love myself. That conversation in my head and with my ego happens far less than it used to. And being a person of light, and I'm sure all of you have run into this, okay, especially if you're on YouTube and you're making videos. I've been attacked. Not where people are like, you're stupid or whatever, but I've been attacked in a, it's hard to explain, in a way where their personal feelings about themselves gets projected onto me. Like I am the problem. Like, Dali, you're the problem that I feel the way that I feel about me because you are the way that you are. Have you ever run into that? And I feel like Spirit is like saying, don't listen to that. Don't let that affect you. That problem is their problem. They have a problem with themselves. They need something that they need to work on, a shadow that they need to work on before. But because it's so hard to work on yourself, they would rather just project that onto you. And you have to understand that comes from a place of hurt. It comes from a place of self-loathing. And, the greatest compassion that you can show is to just not react, and sometimes that's hard. Sometimes that's hard to do. So that's my message from Spirit for you guys today. All right, it is time to leave, you guys. It is after 11 a.m., so we're going to take off. I want to thank you all for coming today. I love you guys so much. You guys are amazing. I'm so grateful that you guys are my friends, and I will see you all again on Sunday with our Sunday reading. Okay, so let me get up the outro, and I will see you all again real soon.
Thank you for coming to my show. I'll see you all next time. You all rock. Dali loves you. Dance around the room. It's time to go. Why are you still here? Dali needs a 10% nap. I'll see you next time. Thank you. you all for coming. Thank you all for coming. I'll see you next time. Have a great day. Thank you for coming to my show. I'll see you all next time. You all rock. Dolly loves you. All rock. Dolly loves you. Dance the room. It's time to go. Why are you still here? Dolly, you still here? Have a great day.